Hello, welcome to a new 6th Gen Farmer. We are back working, getting stuff ready for spring today. We were working on the sprayer a little bit this morning. Fast came by and they just did a couple little updates and fixed a couple small things on the sprayer before this year. Off camera, we got the new tracks on the 8345 RT, which will be planting this year. And I aligned them the other day. We have some issues with our bogey wheels. So if you take a look, we got quite a bit of this cracking like around here. And this one's actually pretty good. We're actually gonna keep this one. But if we head over to this side, back in here, these ones are absolutely shot. So we got 6 new bogeys right here. This is gonna be my first task of the day. And then we also have some spacers. I didn't know these things existed, but apparently if you put these little spacers between the bogey and the bearing in there, it actually helps with the bogey life and track wear and track alignment. I got the front one done on this side, but other than that, none of them are done yet. So that's task number 1. I never used to care about like hearing protection. I want to be able to hear when I get older, so I've gotten more careful, I guess would be the word, with hearing protection. So I don't detension the track or anything when I'm changing these bogeys. All I do is I just run over a block of wood and then it lifts up these bogeys enough that you can get them free spinning and just zip them right off. So the plan is you want 2 bogeys that have been on about the same amount of time to be across from each other. So the outside bogeys on our tractor here are a lot better than the inside bogeys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this one right here. I'm going to put this one on the inside because you don't want to match up a new one and a used one. You want 2 used ones or 2 new ones. And then I'm going to take both inside ones off and then put 2 new ones right here. So 2 used ones, 2 new ones. Go the other side because I already did these front ones here. So the spacer just goes right on over the top. Get it lined up. Grab the new bogey. That cat showed up out of nowhere. Anyways, all the bogeys done. Basically, I put all new ones on except for the back pair on the driver's side and the back pair on the other side. So these are used ones. These were new ones last year. These are both new. Took a little bit, got it done. Now, our sprayer, like I said, Bass came this morning. They did some work on it. My brother was just driving around the yard and he said that the steerable hitch was kind of doing some wonky things. So we're gonna get in it. We're gonna see if we can get the steerable hitch to work good. Otherwise, this morning, they were trying to fix our electronic volume gauge or the level gauge and ended up being a wire. That screw that hold the pin in the connector wasn't all the way set. So I think it was just a wiring issue and they're testing it this morning. They got it to work, and then there was also an update on the booms. But we're gonna go drive it around a little bit, see if we can get this hitch to work correctly. And I'm gonna try and realign those tracks and see if I can get the steering to work on that. 8345, okay? Okay. All the blocks are in?
Yeah, some of there ain't gonna do much. You must have put them in because they weren't in there.
I didn't put them in.
They weren't in there yesterday.
That's hydraulic 3. Yeah, yep. Steerable hitch on. So we're having this weird issue where even if I have the hydraulics turned off, if I have the switch off, switch on, it doesn't matter what I do. It's just the hitch is just freely swinging. I couldn't even back it up unless I put those blocks in. So I'm gonna see if I can get it around, get some pressure built up on them. If not, I'm gonna have to make a call to Fast because I don't know what the heck's going on. And I just had to unplug and plug the hydraulics a couple times and go forward and back and put the SCV in float mode and just mess with it. It must have been an air bubble or something in there that was screwing stuff up, but it is going now. Everything else should be working on the sprayer. It's kind of cold out today and windy, so we're gonna wait till a warmer day to actually get it out and get some water in it and start spraying. But everything that I can test right now is working. Looks like Chris got the field cultivator out and he must have got the hydraulics hooked up because he got it unfolded, which is good. Put this back inside and go test out the alignment on those new tracks. This cat's so funny. T. So we thought it was Timmy, and then we found out that Timmy is actually Tina, but no one could agree on a name, so now it's just T. But I think it's his neighbor's cat. I think it came from the same place that Tom did. But this one just kind of hangs out during the day. It just kind of shows up at the shop, it hangs out, and then in the evening it heads on home. Definitely, I think she's pregnant.
Yeah, I don't really want her here overnight.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I really don't want to.
You don't want to have kittens in the shop?
I don't want to herd.
So aligning the tracks was quite a process. Since I've already got them aligned, theoretically, I should just be able to... What the heck's going on? See, I have the steering engaged, but we're 11 inches off and it's not... It does it with the John Deere and the Agri GPS globe, so I don't know what the heck's going on with that. So now that I've driven back and forth across the yard 3 or 4 times, you come in here and you just see if the track is aligned evenly, these guide blocks between your front 2 bogies, so I can stick my hand on either side, which means that we're pretty well lined up here. If it's not lined up, it'll be heavily favoring one side or the other. And then you take these bolts out right here that lock in this bottom bolt, and then you can tighten or loosen these bolts. There's one on each side of each track, and then you can move that track left or right. It took me like 4 hours to do it, so I didn't film it because it just took forever. But now that I've put in new bogies and spacers, I just want to make sure that we're still aligned, which we are. This one's maybe favoring left-hand side a little bit, but it's not touching. I'll drive around a little bit more and see if it moves again. Okay, so it's the next day, and I just did a quick TCM calibration off camera because that is boring. My dad took the tractor out this morning. He went down the road. He said I had the tracks pretty dang well aligned. I think he moved this left one a little bit. And now I'm gonna get this thing connected to the planter officially. I mean, it's already been connected once before, but unfold it, make sure all the hydraulics are working, do a runoff test. Hopefully, eventually we'll take it out to the field and just scratch some dirt and just make sure everything's working good. Not actually plant any seeds, so make sure the closing wheels are lined up and stuff. So I'm gonna get this big door open, get this thing connected, get all the hydraulics connected, the PTO generator, and unfold it here in the yard. We got a new hose reel. This is gonna be for our tender truck, which is sitting right there that just got built. I'll show that here in a little bit. This is the dirtiest I've ever seen this thing. Look at this, how muddy it is. This is a handy little tractor on the farm. Like, looks like my dad was, I mean, he graded the yard with it here the other day, but we put an auger flighting with it, and like, it was able to get just the right angle to get the flighting down the auger tube, and yeah, just a handy little tractor. Gotta move the old girl too. You are not very cold-blooded here. Let's see if you start. I give it a 50-50 shot. There we go. I was about this close to letting go because I don't want to burn out the starter. I'm gonna let this run a little bit, let it get warmed up. Now I got the lovely job of connecting all these hydraulic cables and our hydraulic hoses and the air lines and the electronics. There's nothing worse than hooking up a planter. The sprayer is way easier, all the tillage equipment's way easier, side dress bar is easy, row crop cultivator is extremely easy. Yeah, it's basically just this thing that sucks. Ugh. So many hoses. Okay, so that's 3. Let's start with 1. I think pressure would be on the left. Okay, theoretically, everything is hooked up. So now I get to do what I like to call the hydraulic dance, where there's air in the lines and this thing is going to be very upset. So I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but this wing over here is like a foot lower than this wing, which is not supposed to happen. Once I get it fully folded, it's just going to be really awkward, but I need both hands to unfold it, sadly. And here's what I mean. It goes down, comes back up, goes up, then comes back down. And the first few times I raise and lower it, it's not gonna like it, but this is really the only way to do it. You just kind of go up and down until it eventually gets itself figured out. Once you do this once, typically you're good. This is just kind of the John Deere planter thing that you gotta do every time you hook it up. Yeah, the seed bin's empty, I know. So we definitely got a bad air cylinder because I'm trying to lift the cylinders right now, and I'm getting pressure back on the downside, so we'll have to go through one by one and unhook the downside of all these things to see which one has an internal leak on it and replace it. But the frame's all leveled out, the air compressor's working, I got the winglets out. I don't want to unfold that marker because, well, I'll hit a car on the highway. So far, so good. My down pressure seems to be working. If I bump it up, I'm just going all the way up in 50-pound increments to try to get all the air out of the system. But when I bump it up, it slowly brings itself up. So 134, I have it set for 150. And I don't see any units that are badly shaking. Should be good. I'm gonna go all the way up to 400, just make sure it works the whole way up. So far, just air cylinders that we really need to pay attention to. And then I need to get my Agri GPS CRG on there too, so I can do a TCM calibration on that. Okay, let's check the CTIS air system. So if I hit this down button, should bring it down to 23 PSI. Appears to be working. Good. I'll have to double check these tire air pressures and make sure they're all at 15 PSI. Love that air system. CTIS from PTG. Fantastic. I'll leave NTS's link in the description. Or they're the dealer for PTG, and they're the ones that came out and did the install. Bunch of great guys. If you want an air system for your planter, I would strongly recommend it. They are the guys to talk to. Okay, next step is to do a runoff test to make sure that every unit is actually planting. So I got backed up here along the edge of our place, and I got some leftover corn from last year. It's actually organic corn, untreated stuff, which is good because if I was using treated stuff and just dumping it in my yard and I didn't clean it up, one of you guys could turn me in for killing birds. But it's organic, so I don't have to worry. Enough. Shut the door. I guess that's good enough. EPG on, seed star, diagnostics calibration, runoff procedure, planter runoff, 30,000 seeds per acre. Actually, let's do like 34, 35. 8 miles an hour, start. Oh, I don't have the vacuums turned on. That would be 3 and 4. They should be set to auto. And now if I go here, let's set them each to 20 to start. Now let's go back to my runoff procedure. I know what it is. I need to lower the planter to blow the seed to the units. So I'm just gonna lower the planter, let it blow the seed to the units, fill the units up, then raise it up, then do the test. Okay, let's give this another shot. There we go. That actually looks pretty dang good. I'm not expecting the singulation to be absolutely perfect because first of all, there's no lubrication on this seed. Second of all, the organic seed's a weird size and it doesn't plant the greatest anyways, but it's up to 90, 98, 7, 99%. We're planting. Okay, lifting now. So I turned to 120 PSI. They all lifted up. For the fact that none of them didn't lift up, I wonder if they were just stuck. Because last year we'd have ones that didn't. Oh, we have one that's not lifting up as far as over there. Oh, found the culprit. Which one? Okay. Yep.
And this, the air coming out of here disappeared.
When you unhooked it.
When I unhooked it.
Okay. So that's probably it. Just mushrooming out that tip. It's always sunshine and rainbows here. Aha! Got it. Well, my battery ran out halfway through installing the new cylinder, but it's on. So we're gonna get some more air in the air compressor and see if it does anything first. So I'm gonna wait for all the air to leave the box and then see if I can still hear something. The fact that I still hear air in there moving tells me there's another one that's also bad. The one right next to the one I just replaced was really sluggish, so that one might have a little bit of down pressure on it. So I think it was this one. There's no air coming out of it. Well, there we go, guys. I replaced the cylinder here on the end as well, and everything seems to be working extremely well now. That went a lot more smoothly than last year. And I basically got to do a TCM calibration to the globe on the planter, and we should be ready to plant. I was trying to think if there's anything I'm missing, but I really don't think there is. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.